on this week's episode of RamZ's Hoosier Pond.
That you may want to hold on just because of how much effort you put into getting it. Right now, I've got actually a couple mini helmets over there with Peyton Manning on it, which seems to go pretty well in our area. My guess is probably where it would stand. I would probably want to be about.
Yeah, that's a NASCAR collection here.
Oh, okay. So you have a bunch more out in the car?
I got 9 containers.
Oh my
9
goodness.
containers.
You want me to send some people out to get it all?
Would you consider 400 cash and 200 trade?
Any idea what?
This is Randy Ramsey, and this is his pawn store. He works here with his wife Melanie, sons Corey and Chad, and daughter Amanda. Many items here have a unique story. And after 25 years in the business, he's learned that you never know what's coming through the door next. This is RamZ's Hoosier Pond.
So Amanda, there's been all kinds of crazy sports stuff coming in lately, from jerseys to shorts to 8x10s to painted stuff. What's your favorite NBA basketball team?
The Bulls.
They just got knocked out of the playoffs.
Oh no!
I know, I figured you probably weren't paying attention, but
No.
anyway. So the Pacers are still in it, which is a local group, and this is Paul George, which is this is an oversized photo that's autographed. That's just one of the items.
Is he a current player?
Yeah, he is, and he's one of the items that's come in here recently. Another team that just got knocked out, the Thunder here, just got knocked out last night too, and Kevin Durant just had a rough time of it. But this is another one. But this is a one-of-a-kind painted picture that has also been autographed down here. Right across his chest area here. So it's a one-of-a-kind canvas painted picture that's been signed as well. This is actually football. This is going into a different kind of season here, but Reggie Wayne item here. This is autographed and authenticated, and we get some of this kind of stuff coming through. But again, it's just a little off season for this, but I definitely picked it up because it's Colts related. So,
Oh.
yeah, it shows a picture of him signing it. Has the authentication sticker, and then also
I
has
thought it
a.
was the Saints because it has the
Oh
fleur de
yeah,
lis.
the fleur-de-lis, yeah, right.
I was like, that's not the right colors.
Back to basketball stuff. This would
And
be
tiny shorts.
Yes, right. This is the old school shorts, and the reason it's old school shorts, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from the Lakers.
Oh, wow.
This is one we've had in an earlier episode, I think, or not episode, but an earlier commercial, and just really a neat item. And this was authenticated through online authenticators, but just a kind of a throwback pair of shorts and an old school basketball player.
Sure.
This one here is the high school jersey of Carmelo Anthony, who is...
I know him.
Yep, he's still playing. Actually, he's the team that's playing against the Pacers, and they'll be playing tonight, I think. And then their next game, if they if Anthony wins tonight, then they'll have to play the Pacers again on Saturday. But we've got Oak Hill was his high school, and it's signed right on the 22 there. We got a bunch of these jerseys in. Same guy that had the paintings done had these done as well, and just created some relationships with some of the bodyguards and stuff, and found out where he's going to be. And so anyway, pretty neat items that have been coming
sneaky.
in. I know, right? So anyway, just wanted to let people know some of the really cool stuff that's been coming through. If you have any of your own, or if you are interested in any kind of sports stuff, just come on in. We have a lot of cool stuff, and we buy stuff too.
Previously on RamZ's Hoosier Pond.
Would you know who is the single season rushing record right now?
I'm not sure offhand.
I believe it's Eric Dickerson.
Is it?
Yes.
Did you know that?
7 Pro Bowl appearances.
No
So what
way.
if I get some like Windex?
No. He was the first NFL running back to break 10,000 yards in only 91 games.
Nice. So if you don't mind, I'll step away, do a little bit of checking, and I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yep. All right. I did a little bit of checking. Let's start with this because I know that's the least important thing to you. But
Absolutely.
We were playing.
nice
Sorry.
little stand there.
Stand.
Great. It's looking like they're ranging all over the board, but sales-wise, they're online. They're hitting as high as about 79, but as low as like $20.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds like we would be about 50, because I think we'll probably try to sell them in-house, and maybe just put a little hair more than that, because that $79.99 thing doesn't include shipping either. So if somebody had to order them, so we've got a little bit of margin there. So if you'd be comfortable with the 50, we'd be at that on these. I don't know if that's going to be okay for your wife or not.
Yeah, you
I'll
better
probably
talk
put
to
them back in the
her.
closet.
Okay,
for $50, we'll put them back in the closet.
So this one here, it may be another thing that you may want to hold on just because of how much effort you put into getting it.
Exactly.
Right now, I've got actually a couple mini helmets over there with Peyton Manning on it, which seems to go pretty well in our area. He's just awesome, so it's really cool to have his autograph.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not moving stronger online.
Right.
I saw a couple that had, are you familiar with JSA authenticators?
Yes, yes.
PSA DNA is probably, for what I see, a step higher than them, but JSA is like right there.
Okay.
I saw a couple with JSA, and they were selling in about the $70 range.
Okay.
So what that means to me is, even though he's awesome, so
Yeah,
he's
a Hall of Famer.
It's got to mean to me that he signs a lot. That's probably what's going on. So
yeah.
I really think, and then without authentication, it's going to drop back at
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna
Well,
say.
that's fine.
That's where
Because
I'm
of
like, at that point, with as much as you followed him around, you're going to probably want to hold on to this.
Yes.
My guess is probably where it would stand. I would probably want to be about 25 cash or about 35 on a trade.
Yeah, no, I worked too hard for that in the Jacksonville
The little
Sun.
mini helmet itself, if you had to go buy it originally, it'd be at $20 at least.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just based off of what I'm seeing online, when you see JSA and they're hitting about 70,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'd have to be about that. So
all right. Well,
it doesn't look like we're going to accomplish anything today, but I'm sure glad you brought some stuff in.
Well, it was good seeing you guys,
Yeah,
too.
you'll have to tell Katie I said hi.
Will do.
All right.
We had some laughs.
Yeah,
Yes, we
exactly.
did.
Thank you so much. You have a great day, man.
You too.
All right.
See you soon.
Just got done seeing Corey about my Colts mini helmet signed by Eric Dickerson. We couldn't really come to a general consensus on the worth of it, so I think it's just a little too sentimental to get rid of right now. And the wife's candlesticks, I'm just going to hold on to them and keep them in the closet.
Coming up next on RamZ's Hoosier Pawn. This is Randy Ramsey, and this is RamZ's Emporium. He works here with his wife Melanie and his daughter Amanda. You never know what's coming through the door next.
Turn of the century, 14-karat white gold filigree diamond and sapphire bracelet.
A lady's antique bracelet with rose-cut diamonds.
A beautiful freshwater pearl necklace.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to Ramsey's on North Farabee Drive in Lafayette.
You never know what's going to come in our doors next. A few weeks ago, I was talking to my wife, and I said, I think we have about 100 pictures, and she went around, and we had 500 pictures.
I was bored, but by now we already have 600, I'm sure.
But this particular one is all laid out with information and pictures about the Monon Railroad, which is a very popular collectible in our area.
You know what? I remember watching for these trains and waiting, not this year, but waiting for that caboose to come by. They don't even have cabooses anymore on those trains.
Is that when you wore your cowgirl outfit?
Probably.
What do you have there?
I've got the World's Fair, but this is in 1939. I wasn't even born yet,
Okay.
so I'm not that
Yeah,
old.
and we bought one this size and two smaller ones just recently. So we have not only this item in World's Fair, but we probably have 100 items around the store about the World's Fairs that have been over the years, and every kind of item you can imagine, from little pins to coins to collectible jars to, in this case, a poster that's been framed.
Do you remember when we lived in France and we saw the atomium, or was that in Brussels?
That was in Brussels.
Wasn't it? And we saw the atomium. That was for part of the World's Fair that
was one
year.
of the World's
There was
Fairs.
great big globes, and they had big arms that people would walk through to the next big globe. Oh, it was beautiful.
And a lot of the cities that have had World's Fairs maintained those structures even today, where you can
As
go back and
visitors.
see them.
For visitors to go see. They were amazing.
So if you have an interest in one of these collectibles or many others that we have, feel free to stop by RamZ's Emporium.
Please do.
My name is Denny. I'm brought in a native club. My daddy brought over from World War II from Guadalcanal, and I like to get some information on it, how old it is, what kind of wood it is, and maybe get maybe $500.
Hello, welcome to RamZ's
Hi.
Emporium.
How you doing?
I'm Melanie.
I'm Denny.
Randy.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, what have you brought today?
I've got this native club. My daddy was in the Marines back in World War II,
Oh my gosh.
and it came. He said it was a native club. Came from Guadalcanal,
Okay.
and I like to know the age of it and what it's worth.
Well, it's something that obviously we don't see every day. We've had a number of different types of clubs, Native American clubs, and this one's from the Philippines.
Right.
Okay. If you don't mind, what I'll do is we'll have just a moment here, and I'll step back and have my son do some looking and be right back.
Okay.
All right. That was a quick check, but they did have a very, very similar design. The one that we saw had some inlay work. I think it was like a mother of pearl, but surprisingly, it wasn't a real expensive piece. They had them in a number of different price ranges, but a piece like this here, they were just referring to it as a World War II, but it could have been manufactured obviously before that. But they were just referencing it because a lot of guys did pick up souvenirs while they were over there. Is it something that you're thinking about selling or getting a loan on, or
No,
or
not
you
really.
We talked about it a little bit. It's a family thing, so he's not real sure.
But just from what we were able to see, they had some that people had listed in the $150 to $400 range, but none were actually selling.
Right.
So at least gives you a price range. But
It's been used.
Yeah, I would surmise that it probably was manufactured maybe even turn of the century, but then acquired during World War II. Some of this bruising, she was just referencing that it might have happened while I was over there, but if this is like some of the samurai swords that guys brought back from World War II, kids get them and they find all kinds of things to beat, so we don't know what this bruising was.
But somebody's done some very intricate
it's probably
artwork
not
on it.
very easily seen on TV, but there's a lot of designing that is worked into this.
And that's made out of teak.
Teakwood.
Teakwood,
Okay.
that would,
Yep.
that would be,
Hardwood. Was that?
Yes.
Is that with the? Is that a native land of the?
Yes, that would be
Yes.
native to that particular area. But it is a very interesting piece, and normally speaking, items that are brought back from some of the islands and Philippines don't have the same kind of value that like a samurai sword might, or Nazi German dagger, or some of those kinds of things that people would have brought back from World War II. But they're still very unique. I have a couple items that were kind of funny. A guy brought back, and he said he traded some cans of beans for them and brought back some very interesting tool and weapon type items.
it's got some markings. It's interesting. It does say it's from the canal, but it's got some other little,
Well, it could be a 44,
Yeah,
which
that's
would
what
be
I was thinking,
1944.
yeah.
Yeah, so he could have acquired it in 1944. But I certainly appreciate you bringing it in. I don't know if I answered all your questions,
I
but
think you did.
but I appreciate being able to see it. And
Yeah,
if
thank you.
if you decide to sell it, we'll try to nail down a price for you. Or if you run onto some of the other unique things that he may have brought back, we'd be happy to look at them as well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in,
Yep,
Denny.
Stop by anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm very satisfied with the information I got today. I found out about the time period it was made, and didn't come to agreement on the price. But it's more of an heirloom than I can put a price on it.
Coming up next on RamZ's Hoosier Pawn. This is Randy RamZ, and this is RamZ's Emporium. He works here with his sons Corey and Chad. You never know what's coming through the door next.
A Native American transformation mask.
Authenticated Jim Brown and Walter Payton autographed football.
Taylor Model 810.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to RamZ's, North Farabee Drive, Lafayette.
At RamZ's Emporium, you never know what's coming through the door next.
For instance, we just in the last couple of weeks have acquired some ivory items, and ivory can be come in all forms.
These are some interesting pieces here, Andy.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen these.
Yeah, this one here is actually, obviously it's a carving of Jesus, but it is carved out of ivory, and you can tell by the cross hatching on the back and the yellowing of it to determine whether it's actually ivory or not.
Is there a test, an easy test that you can do to determine ivory from another material, say bone?
Bone normally you can tell because it's more porous, so it have little speckling indentations on it, but one of the tests that they suggest is that you take a needle and you heat it and you touch it in some spot. If it's plastic, it'll smell like plastic. If it's ivory, it'll smell like hair that's burning. But these are some examples of ivory. I don't know if this obviously is a little oriental ivory figurine, but a lot of these that are this size have a hole drilled in the back, and it's called a netski. And they actually use it almost like a button on their outfit. They would have it and they would loop it through, but yeah, that's called,
awesome.
Called a netski. Guess what that is?
A box.
A box.
With jewelry in it, I see.
Yes, this is a match set that has a strand of carved beads for a necklace, a floral design on the earrings, screwbacks, and a brooch that could be worn. So this would have been sold as a set. Now here's something else that is rather unusual. I've acquired some of these over the years at antique shows, and even some that have walked in here. I actually have one of these. What it is, it's a slice of ivory that is painted by, obviously an artist, but I have one of these that is a picture of one of our early artists here in Indiana. I don't think he actually painted it, but it was part of his family. And we have one that has a bezel that's solid gold, but done in ivory. This one here has a little bit more going on because it actually has slices of ivory that form the frame with some onyx in the corners. And then we also have, which I didn't take time to get it, but a knife that's about this long, and it's made out of wood, and it's covered in slices of bone, but it looks like ivory. And even the blade on it is done like ivory. So these are a lot of neat pieces. If people have things like this that want to sell them, or if they're interested in collecting, they might want to stop in.
My name is Andre, and I'm bringing in an elephant tusk that's carved out of ivory, and I'm trying to get between 500 and 1,000, but I'm flexible, hoping to get whatever I can, and just here to see what it's worth. Hello.
Hi there. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Hi, my name is Rachel.
I'm Andre.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Randy.
Hi, Randy.
Good
nice
to have
to
you
meet
stop
you.
in. What did you bring today?
I brought in a big old elephant tusk with carved elephants on it.
That's very, very eye-appealing and very neat.
A friend of mine was kind of down on his luck and needed some assistance, and he offered this to me.
Oh.
So I was going to see what I could get for it.
Well, we've had, we were just talking earlier about some ivory type items that we get in, and we get in some of the tusks. We've had walrus tusks, we've had elephant tusks uncarved, we've had some that are carved, and here again there's a lot of material on the market that is not real ivory but looks very similar to this, just from what I'm seeing here with the again some of the cross hatching and the lines in it. I would say it's real ivory.
All right.
Yeah. Is it something you're thinking about selling or getting a loan on, or are you wanting to possibly sell? Any idea what you'd like to get?
As much as possible.
Top dollar.
Top dollar. I'll stop at $1 million though.
Well, would you consider 10,000?
Yes.
First offer.
First offer. I guess just based upon the experience I've had with ivory pieces, I'm probably going to be more, would you consider 400?
Would you consider 900?
900. I don't think I can get that myself. I'm thinking that, and here again, it's not something, it's a quick sell. I'm thinking it's something we may put about $750 on. I guess I would come up to $500 if that would work for you.
Would you consider $500 and in-store credit?
Sure, 10, 15 cents we can add right onto that. What we have done, if you have an interest, I don't know if you would consider taking less on the cash end of it, and we can broaden the trade end of it. So that's another possibility. For instance, if you were, now we wouldn't do it on bullion or guns, but if you were trading this in its entirety, we'd probably go $657 on a trade. Whereas if you wanted to consider taking maybe 300 cash, we could do 300 trade. So there is some give and take there because obviously we have some profit margin built into the items for sale.
Would you consider 400 cash and 200 trade?
Any idea what kinds of items you might use to trade
Electronics.
on? Electronics. I would consider doing that. Yeah, I would.
You've got a deal.
Very good. Thank you much. I'll have Rachel write you up, and we'll give you a credit slip. And if you decide you want to utilize it today, fine. If you want to take more time at a later date, you're welcome to, and we'll do a paid out. We'll need a driver's license to do the paid out.
Okay.
Glad to have you in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't get quite the $1,000 I was looking for, but I'm happy with the $400 in cash and the $200 in trade. So it was a good deal.
Coming up next on RamZ's Hoosier Pawn. This is Randy Ramsey, and this is RamZ's Emporium. He works here with his wife Melanie and his daughter Amanda. You never know what's coming through the door next.
Turn of the century 14-karat white gold filigree diamond and sapphire bracelet.
A lady's antique bracelet with rose-cut diamonds.
A beautiful freshwater pearl necklace.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to RamZ's on North Farabee Drive in Lafayette.
Hey Corey, looks like you got a bunch of NASCARs here today.
Yeah, these have come in over a period of time, and I just happen to have this kind of cool box that came in from a guy that does custom work, and I decided to put all these autographed items in it.
What's so special about these particular ones?
Well, they're all autographed by different drivers. This one here's Tony Stewart. This one here is kind of interesting. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr., Sr., and Teresa, the mother. Jeff Gordon. Down here I've got Dale Earnhardt, Doug Childress, and then down here, even farther, I've got Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty, Jeff Gordon, and Darrell Waltrip all on one vehicle. And some of these I have certification on, some I don't. Some I have the original boxes on, and some I don't, and prices are reflective accordingly to that. But we've been getting a lot of this kind of stuff you've seen come through. Some of the market on this stuff has been really fluctuating quite a bit. You've seen some of the prices I've had to pay on some of the stuff that's not signed. Mm-hmm. Well, even the signed stuff's been affected here recently. And
so are they selling as well as the guns in our gun department right now?
I would probably have to say no. And I probably am not spending quite as much as you're spending on some of the guns in the department either. Yeah. If anybody's got any interest in guns or NASCAR stuff, you can definitely stop in. We've got some really interesting stuff in both departments. Yeah, definitely stop in. We've got stuff signed and not signed. I've got 8x10s that are signed. I've got...
Hi, my name is Melvin. I brought in NASCAR collection, 9 tote containers. I've dealt with RamZ Exchange before with a started lineup collection. They was fair with me, and I enjoyed doing business with RamZ.
Hey, how are you doing? You're back again, huh?
Oh, yeah. Got a NASCAR collection here.
Oh, okay. Last time you did, wasn't it starting lineups you brought in? Yeah, that's right. I remember. You had a bunch of stuff. So you have a bunch more out in the car?
I got 9 containers.
Oh, my goodness. You want me to send some people out to get it all?
If you would, please. I appreciate the help.
We'll definitely take a look at it. All right. We'll get some people lined up.
Okay.
All right. You weren't joking, man. Holy cow. Man, we got them all in here. Let's see a little bit about what you got here. There's quite a bit, obviously.
A lot of different drivers.
Yeah, it looks like you got some 124 scale stuff here.
A lot of 124 scale.
Yeah, that's going to be a little better. Is it mainly action?
A lot of it's action.
Okay, all right.
And there's some elite, the winning circles.
Okay.
It just varies.
We've had a lot of people bringing in the 164 scale, and they are not seeming to go as well. The 124 scales have been considerably depressed in regards to how much they're bringing, but the 164 scales are even worse. So it's good that you brought a lot of these larger scales in.
But it is a period of 15, 20 years of collecting.
Okay, great.
And everything's been out of the box one time, and that's when I brought it home from the racetrack.
Just to look at it or whatever.
Just to look at it, see what I had.
Now, is there anything that's autographed in the grouping?
There might be a couple, but like I say, I take them out, look one time.
Just been stored, yeah.
And just been stored.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you've got a Monopoly one here. Looks like Dale Earnhardt Sr. And it appears like you have a lot of Dale Earnhardt Sr. items throughout the stuff.
Yes,
I also see a Revell piece here, a Revell Select. That's a little better item than the action stuff would be. You also have your elites, and those are going to be a little stronger. But at least you've got 124 scale and a few of the a little higher end items. We see a lot of people bringing this kind of stuff in on a regular basis, don't we, Chad?
Yeah, we do have quite a few people ask about NASCAR equipment.
Yep, and some of it brings a little bit, and some of it's just really on that lower end. We don't mind buying some of it as long as we can get into it well enough to be able to move it in group forms and lots.
And I understand that also. You know, I mean,
the same thing with those starting lineups. You sort of knew what we were running into there.
And like this here, this is a limited edition right here.
Yeah, one of the tickets, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
little commemorative ticket item. Yeah.
But
so,
I mean,
is it something that you think you would be able to leave like you did the starting lineups when you brought almost this many the last time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I can leave it, let you go through it, and
okay.
You can call me when you get done, and
yeah, that'd be great.
We can work.
That'll give us some time to do a little bit of research on some of them and see if there's any of those peak out ones or if they're all going to be sort of common.
I bear with you. I mean, it takes time coming in with a lot of stuff like this here.
I think it was about 3 days, but it was about this much stuff. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we'll try and get through it, and we'll get you an answer. All right.
Okay, Corey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Get you written up. I'll have Chad write you up so we have an invoice with all the stuff on it, and we'll get back with you with the phone number you leave with us.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
On next week's episode of RamZ's Hoosier Pawn.
You were saying that there was some autographed memorabilia thought.
I thought there may have been.
So that would have helped. When I got through, it just seemed like a ton of stuff, but I actually thought, man, it should be a little bit more than this. But realistically, based off of what I'm seeing things go for, it's looking like I'm going to have to be about. This has got a little crack in it on this side, and this piece is missing over here. It also looks like not only the red, but the gold has been redone at some point.
Okay, my name is Dale, and I brought in this license plate, and don't know what it's worth, but I like to get $50 out of it.